So, Mr. Robinson, you and I have decided to historically record our experiences, and both of us are 100% disabled Vietnam combat veterans. Is that the handle that you use for yourself?
That's fairly accurate.
Yeah. It's quite a long term, isn't it?
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has been,
Took a while to get here.
to say the least.
Yeah.
I remember the day that I got mine, my wife went and picked it up in the mail. She said she almost threw up in the post office, picking it up at the post office box, after waiting for all those years.
Well, I had a similar experience myself.
Yeah?
I thought somebody had made a mistake.
Oh, yeah?
When I got that check in the mail, it was retroactive.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That was the toughest one to deal with, wasn't it?
I'm telling you. Yep.
All that retroactive money.
Yeah. Felt like it finally paid off.
Yep. Well, it was a lot of work.
Yeah. It didn't come free either.
How many programs did you go through?
A total of 8.
8 different programs?
Mm-hmm.
Which ones did you go through?
I went through Philadelphia. I went through Coatesville, Pennsylvania. I went through Lyons, New Jersey. Martinsburg, West Virginia. Hilo, Hawaii. Batavia. I'm saying 8, but that was a off-the-cuff number. It might be somewhere between, give or take, maybe 7.
Uh-huh. You have a difficult time remembering them all because they're so difficult to remember.
Yeah, the main
You feel
thing,
like you're acting like you're an actor on a stage, don't you?
sometimes.
You just wonder if you're doing this just to get the disability, or am I really acting this way? Or what should I tell the therapist, or what shouldn't I tell the therapist? Or who should I talk to?
After a few programs that with a duration of at least 90 days,
That's a bit of time, too.
yeah, you become quite adept at how to adapt and adjust.
Uh-huh.
And you learn all the
Yeah,
things.
just like us dressing warm to be outside in the cold.
Absolutely.
Adapt and adjust.
Yeah, that's the name of that's survival.
Yep.
To continue to exist
Yep.
by any means necessary.
Right. I will utilize any and all available resources to the utmost of my abilities in order to gain the goals of my unit, whatever those shall be. The military creed.
Yeah.
I tried to teach it to my kids and tell them that was what it was like being in the military.
Well, I guess
Both of my sons had to deal with my going into the PTSD program too. When I was in the Buffalo program, the Hilton Hotel gave free rooms to the relatives, and because it was Christmas time, was the time of year, I swear we were the only people in the entire hotel. When we went to the dining area, there was nobody else there at all, just us. We had the whole hotel all to ourselves. Felt special.
I guess you did.
Yeah, special all right. I didn't want to be in the PTSD program.
Maybe you don't think that's why there was no one else in the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, they knew somebody was here for PTSD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I still find that difficult to believe that you got to try to survive on the amount of money that you get. Survival.
Yeah, I started out in Coatesville, Pennsylvania,
Uh-huh.
and at that time I only had a diagnosed rating of about 20%.
Uh-huh.
So my intentions was to get my rating upgraded
Uh-huh.
to at least 30 or 40%.
Right.
Well, it took, you had to be in the programs for 21 days in order to get paid at the rate of 100%.
Right. So you made sure that the program was 21 days.
Absolutely, and I made sure that I had another program lined up to go right to as soon as this one expired,
Uh-huh.
because then that would mean I could still get paid at the rate of 100%.
Right, trying to maintain the 100% ability.
21-day eligibility. That's
Right,
correct.
but the programs were 90 days. You were literally homeless at the time, weren't you?
At that time, I was living homeless.
So you didn't have any place to be but in the program anyway.
Well, it was the best thing I could think of to do,
Right.
due to my condition,
Yeah.
my situation.
Right.
Plus that, it paid me.
Right.
So
That's the number one concern that you have.
being in a program all year long, program after program, became my job.
Yep.
Yeah, I became what they began to label as a program abuser. I was already a substance abuser.
Right.
I went in the program, then I became a program
You became
abuser.
a program abuser.
Yeah.
Or
That's
commonly known as a recidivist.
Yeah, I turned that upside down.
Yeah.
The recidivism rate.
They expect you to go into the program and never go back again.
Yeah, you should never need it again.
Right.
Because the less you need after the program, then that means that they've done a good job and they can start folding some of these programs down.
Right.
Which is what they've actually done until here recently with the Iraqi vets.
And with the influx of the Iraqi vets, they've had to open the programs back up again.
That's a fact. And they've modified the existing ones quite a bit.
Well, all of us Vietnam combat vets are too old. We don't need the programs anymore. Of course, a couple of the guys in the rep group, they've just been in the program in Batavia.
Mm-hmm.
They're still going in it.
Yeah. And there are still those who don't have any idea that the reason why their life is upside down is because they haven't had any therapeutic exposure.
Right.
So that rates too.
Yep. Well, all I know is having PTSD is a bitch. What's that program they had you go through? The one that is associated with PTSD?
Oh, it's called dissociation.
Dissociation disorder?
That was the Hilo Hawaii program.
Uh-huh.
That was their one outstanding element that they had in their program that most of them didn't.
Right.
How you can actually just lose all emotion and not care about anyone or anything.
That's the way I find myself quite a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have gone to Hilo, Hawaii.
Well, I certainly had that. And it was self-detected. I knew that I was losing all caring, all feelings for anyone or anything.
Right. Yep.
That's why I lived at some point to the point that between the drugs and the drinking, I didn't even care about me.
Right.
So that played a heavy role in my outcome too. I don't know how much further I could have gone on a therapeutic level.
It's rainy and cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's rainy and cold.
Yeah.
Just like a night in Nam.
Reminds me of the monsoon.
Yep. The monsoons.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely led two different lives leading up to our PTSD. I was on board a ship, never had to think of a day in the jungle or carrying a gun. My PTSD is all related to long distance firefighting with the guns going off. And before the guns would go off, we'd hear a beep, beep. Be just the warning gonna let you know that the gun's gonna go off.
We never got any warning.
Yeah, you never got a warning.
Boots on the ground didn't get warnings.
Yep.
You knew the shit was going down when it hit you.
Right. It takes an awful long time. It took me 8 years to get my PTSD. They get it rated at 100%. From 91 to 98.
Yeah, it took me 8 programs.
It took you 8 programs. 8 years and 8 programs.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it only took me 7 years.
Well, in between the programs, I would go into some of the drug and alcohol or substance abuse programs.
They made me go into
too.
the drug and alcohol first. Before they wouldn't admit me to a PTSD program.
Yeah.
They made me go into the drug and alcohol program first at Canandaigua.
That was quite common.
Yeah.
Before you got into any of the PTSD programs,
Right.
you had to do, usually in the same facility, you had to do their
Drug and alcohol program.
Yeah.
30 days.
Then you would do 28 days, and then you transition over to the PTSD unit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it was all a big experiment. They only just knew recently what PTSD was. They didn't know that much about treating it.
It was pretty much a prerequisite.
Right.
Because just about everyone with PTSD had a drinking or drug problem.
Oh, it's self-medication.
Yeah. So it became symptomatic.
You got an anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
Your only opportunity is to self-medicate.
And depressionary too at times.
They make you take a lot of meds?
Absolutely. They tried everything that the pharmacy could think of.
Yep. Same with me.
I can't think of a depression med that I haven't at least been tried on.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
You take any meds now?
Not for PTSD, no.
Yeah, I don't
Not
either.
for depression or anxiety.
I don't take them anymore
Yeah.
either.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired of taking them all,
Yeah.
especially the tranquilizers.
Yeah. And I never responded well to any kind of sedatives.
Uh huh.
So if it was something that was going to put me to sleep or put me down, I didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Most PTSD people, most PTSD victims,
Yeah.
people that have, I don't know if victim is the right word, a PTSD patient, have an adverse reaction to the tranquilizers. You don't like to be put out of it.
No, because
We have a heightened sense of reality.
a heightened sense of anxiety.
Right.
Yeah. So I liked everything that made me spunky.
Yeah.
I didn't like the down stuff.
Right. I don't blame you.
The Thorazine and
Well, all in all,
Haldol, the Seroquel and Cerazone and
all the different strange names
Cinequans and Trazodones
and all the different stuff.
and you name it. You name it, I've had it.
Yep.
If you think you got a problem,
Go to the VA
go to the VA, and they're willing and able
to try to help you.
to try.
But it's mostly you have to take care of yourself.
You got to make the first step.
Learn your own coping mechanism
Right.
and how to deal with it.
Right.
It's not easy to deal with, especially the dissociative disorder, because you feel like such a blob. You feel like just laying down and not doing anything all the time.
Yeah.
But the highest priority is to get yourself to a VA and try to take
Accept the
care of
help.
yourself and
And
accept the
accept
reality
the help.
that you've got PTSD.
Don't go there trying to fight the help.
Right?
Be open and receptive.
Yep. And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap, buddy.